All right. Welcome back to No BS Just News with Steve. As always, I'm your host. Thanks for tuning in to the best YouTube around. Just kidding. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. It's going to be a great day. Great rest of your week. Pay attention to who's silent when you succeed and who's loud when you fail. Right? Happens all the time. People don't like to see other people succeed. It makes them jealous. It might make them resent you. Who knows what it might make? But oftentimes you notice that when you're successful, people become quiet. And when you fail, they get louder, right? So pay attention, y'all. That's all I'm saying. You can take that for what it's worth. Anyway, the stimulus bill is in the Senate. Of course, they're disagreeing on the minimum wage because Pelosi didn't take it out of the bill. When she sent it to the Senate, she kept it in there, and a couple Democrats are telling Biden, 89 million voted for you, and part of it was because of the $15 minimum wage increase, and we want it in the bill, and blah, 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 blah. Listen, folks, they got 2 weeks to get this passed before unemployment expires, which is a big deal. That's one of the main reasons they're trying to get it passed before the unemployment expires March 14th. Some of the moratoriums expire. A lot of the federal regulations that were covered under the last bill expire, even going back to the CARES Act. So let's hope they can get this passed, get the money sent out to the people that need it. There is another child credit, as I talked about yesterday. I will begin in July. $250 a month for kids over the age of 6 up to the age of 18. $300 for kids under the age of 6. That is per child. That is per month. All the way until May 2022. I will verify that. So it's an extra child care credit per child, per household. So it'll definitely help the families that are in need. Unemployment will go to $400 a week on top of what the states already offer. And the $1,400 stimulus checks will go to families making $150,000 filing jointly, and individuals $75K or less. So I think as I've said, it's going to get passed. Hopefully it'll get passed by March 14th. We will see. There's a lot going on with this. The Senate, if they decide to remove the $15 an hour minimum wage out of the bill, it will have to go back to the House for a vote, and then it will go to the presidency. Anyway, so I will continue to bring you some updates on that. Moving on, in Phoenix yesterday, a man called the police department 911 and said somebody was breaking into his home. When they arrived, as they were searching his home, they found several thousand fentanyl pills and a large amount of crystal meth and $5,000 in cash. So in return, what do you think that did? That put his ass right in jail. How embarrassing. You call the cops, you think somebody's breaking in, they're doing a search of your house, and they come across your stash. He's obviously, I would probably say, dealing drugs. You would think if you're going to call and say somebody's breaking in, you might want to hide that, or I don't know. It's stupid. It doesn't even make sense. You call the police to your house to bust your own self. Oops. unbelievable. In other news, our 7th Street Bridge on the freeway, and I want to say it's the 10. There was a huge structure fire over the weekend, and the Arizona Department of Transportation went out to assess and said the bridge is no longer stable, the structure is weak, so that bridge is going to be closed down now for a good while until they can figure out how to make it stable so you can drive over it. Now, that is a huge pass-through for folks trying to get to and from work, to and from the store, to and from wherever. Who knows how long that's going to be down? It could be a good while. Tiger Woods is doing a little bit better. He's got a long road ahead of him. He's got a lot of recovery to do. Obviously, he's got pins and rods and you name it in his legs. One leg worse than the other. I believe it's his left leg. He had compound fractures. He re-injured the back that he had surgery on in December. So it's going to be a long road for him. He has been known to have some addiction to narcotics in the past. He's obviously on narcotics now for the pain. If he's not, I would be greatly surprised. So hopefully he can recover and not become addicted back to prescription narcotics if he wasn't already. They are not charging him with any type of crime as he was speeding down the highway trying to get to a photo shoot and flipped his vehicle several times, causing them to have to extricate him through the front window. So we will see, folks. We will see. I think that society now is becoming just negative. I was having this conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and it's insane the amount of people that you run into that don't even say hi. They don't move out of your way when you're walking. They bump into you. The respect in this nation has gone to hell. There is no more respect. And I'm not meaning like when you go out in public you expect respect always, but if you're walking down, say, the sidewalk, or you're walking into a store and a woman's coming out of the store, you open the door for her and you wait for her to come out, and then you proceed in, right? Now I see women do that all the time for men, and men just go in. Now, that might sound sexist, but chivalry is still alive, folks. It's still alive in some parts. I always hold the door for my wife. I open the car door for my wife. It's not expected. However, I was raised like that. And I was always expected to open the door for my mom if my dad wasn't there. And I did. If I didn't, I was slapped across the room. No, I'm kidding. But that's just how I was raised. To be respectful. Respect is earned a lot of times. But if you're raised and taught with respect and integrity, you will grow up to have respect and integrity. Now, integrity is a whole other thing. You know, you might commit to things that you don't end up doing, or you might tell some white lies here and there, some fibs, but for the most part, lead an honest life and have some respect, and say please and thank you, yes sir, yes ma'am. You know, if you weren't in the military or any type of law enforcement career, you know, you didn't continue on that type of respect, or you that's just kind of instilled in your brain, but you can definitely learn it, and you can definitely teach your kids to be respectful. I talk to my grandson about it all the time. You know, if you're gonna answer, don't, yeah, hey, are you doing okay today? Yeah. No, it's yes. Yes, sir, I'm doing good. Now, you don't have to call me sir. He calls me Tata. But my father expected me to call him sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. How did you do in school today? I did okay, sir. It was, I shouldn't say it was an expectation, but I just kind of knew. I didn't always call him sir. He taught me how to properly shake somebody's hand, not some weak ass handshake where the other person breaks your hand because it's just common courtesy type respect, dang people. I ain't seeing it nowadays. I just ain't seeing it. I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm going to get off that topic. But I just don't see things going well. I feel like the economy's going to take a freaking tank. The housing market's going to crash. I don't know. I feel like we're right back in 07, 08, but even worse. We're already in a recession. People just don't realize it. Why do you think the government's sending out trillions of dollars every 4 or 5 months for the last year? I mean, come on. Think about it. Although Bitcoin's up there. So if you can afford to buy into some Bitcoin, go ahead and do that. Any type of cryptocurrency is a pretty good investment, I would say. But I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to be respectful, have some integrity, go to work, do your job, do what you're there and expected to do. And here's another thing in life that I don't like. If you're in a relationship, look up the definition of what love means. Love, love. It's one of the most beautiful things that life has to offer. Love. And if you're in a committed relationship, keyword committed, why would you want to go out and ruin that relationship for something that you're not going to stay with? A lot of times you'll see in relationships, people become unhappy and they decide to go out and have an affair, or they start messing around with somebody, or they just start the flirting back and forth. Leave the relationship. I've been through that. My wife has been through that. I watched my father go through that. I've seen a lot of my friends go through that. I have family members going through that. It's not worth it, y'all, because all it does is put your life in a complete spin cycle like you're in the damn washing machine. And it becomes out of control when you get caught. So, if you are unhappy in your relationship and you just don't foresee it working and you know that it's over, leave. Don't dick around, leave. And if you have some hope for it, get some counseling. Go to couples counseling. Get some counseling for yourself. It's a great tool. I use it often. I'm not ashamed to say that. It's very helpful, especially if you find a really good counselor that can remain subjective, listen to you, maybe give you some thoughts. My sister's a psychologist, and she's very good at it. And I've called her oftentimes and looked for advice. And I was thinking I was bipolar because I was having terrible mood swings and blah blah blah. And she gave me the definition and different types of bipolar, and said if you do this and do this, and then she just gave me examples of bipolar, and I realized I'm not bipolar. I just have bad mood swings and kind of a temper that I need to learn to control. Therefore, counseling will help you do that. Because unfortunately, and not unfortunately, a lot of times you don't want to tell your partner things that are buried deep inside of you, like death, for instance. I've been dealing with that for a long time, and I've buried it. I haven't dealt with it yet. So I know I'm rambling and I'm all over the place. I just want you guys, all my viewers and everybody that comes across my channel, live a happy life, because you only get one life. and make it count. Make it count, folks, because you never know when your last breath of air is going to be. And with that, I'm out.